and welcome to level 2-2 moving plates. Before we get started, I want you to write your name, date, page number 12, and complete your rewind review on your notes. Your rewind review is asking you, name the 4 layers of the earth. Go ahead and pause the video and complete that now. Did you pause it? You sure? Did you do your rewind review? Great. All right, so last week we discussed the characteristics of the 4 layers of the earth. If you remember, the 4 layers of the earth are the crust, which is our outermost layer, and then if we move further into our layers of the earth, we hit the mantle, and then we hit the outer core, and our final hottest layer on the inside of the earth is the inner core. Today we are going to talk about plate tectonics. Yesterday we kind of discussed what plate tectonics are, but today we're going to go in a little bit more detail, and we're also going to talk about plate boundaries. All right, so what are plate tectonics? Remember, plate tectonics make up the Earth's surface. They are made of hard rock. There are 12 plate tectonics that fit together like on the Earth's surface like a giant puzzle. They float on top of the mantle. They sit in between the crust and what is known as the upper mantle. And remember, plates move very slowly over time, and they move in 3 different ways. Today, we are going to discuss in detail those 3 ways. All right, so there are 12 plates, and they lie between the crust and the mantle. They are constantly moving. All right, and they move really slow. So let's go ahead and fill that in our notes now. Make sure you pause the video before you start writing. All right. Did you pause it? You sure? Great job. All right, now that we've discussed what plate tectonics are, we're going to discuss what plate boundaries are. Plate boundaries are the place where tectonic plates meet or interact. All right, at plate boundaries, landforms are created. There are 3 types of plate boundaries. How many? 3. Great job. All right, let's go ahead and pause the video and fill that in your notes now. Did you pause it? You sure? Great job. All right. Now that we've filled in this part of our notes, let's talk about the 3 types of boundaries. The first boundary is called a convergent boundary. Repeat after me. Convergent boundary. Good job. Now, convergent boundary, if these are my plates, are when 2 plates push against each other. They do what? They push against each other. All right? So convergent boundaries occur when two plates push against each other. Now, when convergent boundaries happen and two plates push against each other, a mountain is formed. All right? The highest landform. The mountains are the highest landform. The Himalayas are the highest mountain in the world. So remember, when two plates push together, we get a convergent boundary and a mountain is formed. Go ahead and pause the video and fill that in your notes now. Make sure you pause. Pause it. Did you pause it? You sure? Great job. All right. So, the second boundary is called a divergent boundary. Repeat after me. Divergent boundary. Good job. Now, a divergent boundary occurs when two plates pull apart. They do what? They pull apart. All right? And when they pull apart, they form these vents in our Earth's surface. And when those vents form, magma comes out of the Earth's surface and becomes lava, and they harden, and it becomes a volcano. So when a divergent boundary happens, when two plates pull apart, a volcano is formed. All right. So let's review really quickly. Our first boundary was called a convergent boundary. Remember, convergent boundaries happen when two plates push against each other and a mountain is formed. Our second type of boundary was a divergent boundary. A divergent boundary occurs when two plates pull apart and then a volcano is formed. All right, our last type of boundary is a transform boundary. Good job. A transform boundary occurs when two plates slide past each other. They do what? Slide past each other. Good job. When the two plates slide past each other, it causes the ground to shake, and it results in a sudden release of energy in the earth, and then an earthquake occurs. And an earthquake is caused by transform boundaries. All right? And when we see that crack in the earth, it's called a fault. It's called a what? Fault. Good job. All right, so let's review really quick. Our first boundary was a convergent boundary. Remember, convergent boundaries occur when two plates push into one another and a mountain is formed. Our second boundary was a divergent boundary. Remember, divergent boundaries happen when two plates pull apart and a volcano is formed. Our last boundary was a transform boundary. Remember, transform boundaries happen when two plates slide past each other and then we get a earthquake. All right? So go ahead and fill that in your notes now. Make sure you pause the video. Did you pause it? Great job. All right. Now that you've done that, go ahead and complete your scientist challenge question and your other challenge questions. They'll be right here next to you on the screen today. Once you're done, go ahead and give me a thumbs up after you've watched the video a second time so you could get your classwork. All right.